Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Like most of the other terms used, faith here also has a double signification. The faith which is to be our shield is both an objective and a subjective one. It has reference first to the Word of God, without the authority of which is ever binding upon me. It points secondly to my confidence in that Word, the heart going out in trustful expectation to the author of it, and counting upon its efficacy to repulse the devil. And take the helmet of salvation, verse 17. This is the fifth piece of the Christian's armor. First of all, we may note the link between the fourth and fifth pieces, denoted by the word "and," for this helps us to define what the helmet of salvation is. It is linked with faith. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, faith is the substance of things hoped for. And if we compare 1 Thessalonians 5:8, we get a confirmation of that thought. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. Here in this epistle, then, we have hope directly connected with the helmet. Incidentally, this verse is one of many in the New Testament which puts salvation in the future rather than in the past. Hope always looks forward, having to do with things to come. As Romans 8:25 tells us, if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Now faith and hope are inseparable. They are one in birth, one in decay. If faith languish, hope is listless. By the helmet of salvation, then, I understand the heart's expectation of the good things promised, a well-grounded assurance that God will make good to His people those things which His Word presents for future accomplishment. We may link up with this 1 John 3:3, scriptural hope purifies. It delivers from discontent and despair. It comforts the heart in the interval of waiting. Satan is unable to get a Christian to commit many of the grosser sins which are common in the world, so he attacks along other lines. Often he seeks to cast a cloud of gloom over the soul, or produce anxiety about the future. Despondency is one of his favorite weapons, for he knows well that the joy of the Lord is our strength. Nehemiah 8:10. Hence his frequent efforts to dampen our spirits. To repulse these, we are to take the helmet of salvation. That is, we are to exercise hope, anticipate the blissful future, look forward unto the eternal rest awaiting us, look away from earth to heaven. And the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Verse 17. God has provided His people with an offensive weapon as well as defensive ones. At first sight, that may seem to clash with what we said about Christians not being called upon to be aggressive against Satan, seeking to invade his territory and wrest it from him. But this verse does not clash to the slightest degree. 2 Corinthians 7:1 gives us the thought, having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit. That is the active, aggressive side of the Christian's warfare. We are not only to resist our lusts, but to subdue them. It is significant to note how late the sword of the Spirit is mentioned in this list. Some have thought that it should have come first, but it is not mentioned until the 6th. Why? I believe there is a twofold reason. First, because all the other graces that have been mentioned are necessary in order to make a right use of the Word. If there is not a sincere mind and a holy heart, we shall only handle the Word dishonestly. If there is not practical righteousness, then we shall only be handling the Word theoretically. If there is not faith and hope, we shall only misuse it. All the Christian graces that are figuratively contemplated under the other pieces of armor must be in exercise before we can profitably handle the Word of God. Second, it teaches us that even when the Christian has attained unto the highest point possible in this life, he still needs the Word. Even when he has upon him the girdle of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, his feet shod with the shoes of the preparation of the gospel of peace, and has taken unto himself the shield of faith and the helmet of salvation, he still needs the Word. The Word of God is here called the sword of the Spirit, because He is the author, the interpreter, the applier of it. He is the only one that can give it power over us. We can handle the Word, meditate upon it, pray over it, and it has no effect upon us whatsoever unless the Spirit applies His sword. If you think of this verse in the light of Christ's temptation, you will find that He used that sword for self-defense in repulsing the assaults of the devil. He was not aggressively attacking him, and blessed too is it to mark that as the dependent man he used that weapon in the power of the Spirit. See Matthew 4:1, Luke 4:14. The last piece of armor is given in verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Prayer is that which alone gives us the necessary strength to use the other pieces of armor. After the Christian has taken unto himself those 6 pieces, before he is thoroughly furnished to go forth unto battle and fitted for victory, he needs the help of his general. For this the apostle bids us to pray always, with all supplication of the Spirit. We are to fight upon our knees. Only prayer can keep alive the different spiritual graces which are figured by the various pieces of armor. Praying always, in every season, in times of joy as well as sorrow, in days of adversity as well as prosperity. Not only so, but watching thereunto with all perseverance. That is one of the essential elements in prevailing prayer. Persistency. Watch yourself that you do not let up, become slack or discouraged. Keep on. The 18th verse is as though the apostle said, "Forget not to seek unto the God of this armor, and make humble supplication for His assistance. For only He who has given us these arms can enable us to make a successful use of them." Some have called it the all verse. Praying always with all prayer, with all perseverance, and supplication for all saints. Think not only of yourself, but also of your fellow soldiers who are engaged in the same conflict. Question: what does the 12th verse mean? Answer: it does not refer to the sphere or place where the wrestling itself is done, but emphasizes the fact that the foes which attack the Christian are superhuman. We are not to interpret that voice by the language of earth's geography. It does not say, "For we wrestle in high places against principalities and powers." No, the high places are connected with those who attack the Christian, and not with the place where the wrestling is done.